Let's discuss about number system today. By number system we mean the various groups into which the numbers can be placed. We will also try to understand the relationship between these groups of numbers. How one group is a subset of a bigger group. Let's start with natural numbers. Natural numbers are the numbers we use for counting. Let's imagine there is a fish here. This fish represents the natural numbers. Remember, these are the numbers we use for counting, like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. There is a bigger fish here trying to eat the smaller one. It contains all the natural numbers. This is called a whole number set. In addition to the natural numbers, it also has an additional number, and that is 0. So whole numbers contain natural numbers and also 0. This essentially means the bigger fish is eating the smaller fish. The big fish contains the small fish. In other words, whole numbers contain the natural numbers. They are a superset of the natural numbers, which means it contains the natural numbers that we use for counting and also another number 0. So natural numbers are numbers used for counting and whole numbers are the natural numbers along with 0. There is also a bigger fish here representing the integers. These contain all the whole numbers along with negative whole numbers. We have natural numbers, the counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We have whole numbers which include the natural numbers and also an additional number 0. We have integers which contain all the whole numbers and also negative whole numbers. We have a bigger superset here and it is called rational numbers. Rational numbers are numbers which can be expressed in the form of fractions or decimals. The big fish is eating all the other fish, which means these number sets are all contained in here. Integers are part of rational numbers, whole numbers are part, and natural numbers are also part of rational numbers. All these are subsets of rational numbers which can be expressed in the form of fractions or decimals. Why are integers part of rational numbers? Because integers can be expressed in the form of a fraction. For example, 2 can be expressed as 2 over 1. That is why integers are part of rational numbers. We have a different set of numbers called irrational numbers. This is different from all the number groups we just discussed. These are numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of a fraction. We have a number here with infinite number of decimal values. This is definitely an irrational number. On the contrary, we have a number here which is a rational number which has a finite number of decimal places, or could be a recurring decimal. Both are rational numbers. But this one is an irrational number because there are no finite decimal places. It goes on infinite. So pi is also an irrational number. Because it has decimal values which never stop. No one knows how many values there are. Let's summarize the differences between rational and irrational numbers. A rational number can be expressed as a fraction. A rational number cannot be expressed as a fraction. A rational can be expressed as a decimal with terminating decimals or a recurring decimal. A rational number has infinite decimal values. It cannot be expressed as a decimal with finite decimals or a recurring. For example, pi is an irrational number. It has infinite decimal values. No one knows where it stops. Take this example, it has finite decimal values. It terminates at one point. So this is a rational number. Let's take this example. This is a recurring decimal. It repeats. This is a rational. So rational number is any number which can be expressed as a fraction, numerator and denominator. So how about square roots of perfect squares? These are all rational numbers. How about square roots of imperfect squares? These are all irrational numbers. So here is a bigger superset of all the numbers we have discussed. All the numbers are contained in here. These are the real numbers.